And hello, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of The Zone TV Movie Entertainment with me, your host Jonathan, once again bringing you my thoughts and review for Tuesday night's episode of The Flash, Season 4, Episode 19. Very, very good episode. This episode feels like two episodes in one, so I'll break it down for you. So we all know from last week's episode, and spoilers if you're not caught up with The Flash, so I apologize, but you should have been caught up by now, but still. Spoilers warning. Anyway, we all know what happened last week. Barry, at the end of last week's episode, after finding out that Nora was working with the Reverse Flash and hearing her backstory, directed by Daniela Pennebaker, the episode was. And so Barry decides, you know what, I can't deal with you right now, I can't trust you. He takes his daughter and literally takes her back home to the future. And pretends like, you stay here and be a good girl, whatever. He's like, if you come back, I'm going to sense it. Don't even try. Goes back. And then, of course, he gets into a screaming match with Iris. And things go from there. I'm talking about literally a screaming match where they a lot of people say Barry was right, and I have to agree with it because honestly, Barry was kind of right because he doesn't know. Iris should know by now what Thawne has done to not only herself, because what happened with Eddie, if you remember that, kidnapped him, he had to shoot himself. She probably remembers that, but and also what he did to Barry. Barry lost his mother in front of him, and okay. So, and trusting him did not really work out for him, and, all of this and this and that. So, Barry was kind of right in the sense of doing what he had to do to not trust her. Was he right about taking her back to the future? Get it? Back to the future? Anyway, who knows? That's a different situation. But, so we get to the point where Nora is now just sitting, moping, sad, brokenhearted, in front of Thawne's, little prison that he's in, because he's in the prison. He's got this countdown clock still going, about to be executed, which we all know he's going to escape. But, so then she decides, hey, let me ask you a question, Thawne. How do you keep going back to the past without my father ever knowing? He tells her, and he basically confirmed, and that even it's in the comics, but we all kind of knew that it was eventually going to happen here, that he has his own Speed Force. He has the negative Speed Force, which the negative Speed Force is a kind of a reverse of what the Speed Force is. It basically blocks the Speed Force from knowing if other speedsters are using it, because if they use it, it can't be detected. It's like an invisible force field, if you will. So Thawne's like, I don't want to show you this. This is too advanced even for you. And he eventually teaches her to try to go back in time, but before all that even happens, mom decides, hey, let me just go see my daughter, see if she's okay, which we don't understand why the heck she's even doing that in the first place. Trying to ruin the timeline even more? Go ahead, I guess. But what can you do? So Iris and Ralph go to the future. They go meet Nora, try to bring her back, which is like, why? Okay. She's a big girl. She can do it herself if she wants to. Apparently, she just wants to say goodbye to her. Even though she didn't even say goodbye to her. She just went, oh, I want to bring you back. No, in the trailer and the episode, in the beginning of the episode, she just goes, oh, you didn't ever let me say goodbye. And she decides, yeah, the hell with it. Let me just go get her back myself. While that all happens, you have another storyline where you have Caitlin and her mother, fighting with their issues, doing their mother-daughter stuff, you weren't there for me, you were that this, and then her father shows up, Icicle shows up with a plan to basically turn all of, the city into, I guess, his children, starting with his own daughter, making Killer Frost fully Killer Frost and get rid of Caitlin forever, and of course, turning his wife, her mother, into another Killer Frost, I believe. So that was that episode, and then, so that part itself was very good. The whole Caitlin fighting Icicle, that was a really cool scene. We got to see a little, like, 5-minute fight scene between the two of them. That was pretty cool. The whole Nora learning the negative Speed Force stuff and how that's going to affect her mind, That's some cool stuff as well. The episode is, like I said, the episode had 2 episodes in one. I just really wish they would have split it up and have one episode focusing on just Nora learning the negative Speed Force stuff, and that should have been that Tuesday's episode. Next week's episode should have been the whole Icicle stuff. Icicle's a pretty cool character. I like him. He's a cool character. Is he great? No, but is he cool? Sure. No pun intended. So, you know, like I said, very interesting episode. Very, like, both sections were great. I just wish they would have just separated them a little bit more. But what can you do? And the ending of the episode, Icicle breaks through, and her father, Thomas, I believe, comes back, and, you know, he has control of the powers. And then, of course, he protects Caitlin by getting killed by Cicada, because Cicada comes out of nowhere after she kidnaps her younger self to protect her, I guess. And then get a device that he was using to basically try to wipe out the city. So she takes that and then kills Caitlin's father, so now he's dead. And then the ending of the episode, we get to see Nora come back from the Speed Force with red eyes, meaning that she has embraced the negative Speed Force, which makes her lightning now red, so maybe she'll end up turning evil for 5 minutes or something and go back and realize, what the hell am I doing? This and this and that. And then, of course, we all know Thawne will come back and do his thing. So, like I said, cool episode. No pun intended. I apologize again. It was just fun. I like this episode a lot. So, yeah, thumbs up for it. So, leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode. And what do you think is going to happen next? I mean, we all know that Reverse Flash is going to break out. This is going to probably be the last episode. But what's going to happen with Nora? That's what I want to know. I feel like the timeline now, I think she's going to disappear. I think when Iris gets pregnant with her daughter, she's going to think, oh, I'm having Nora or something. But I think she's going to either have 2 things. Either she's going to have a boy instead, so Nora's going to be erased from existence after she changed time, or she's going to have twins, a boy and a girl, Nora and her brother. So that's going to be cool. Bringing the Tornado Twins, comic book reference, that's kind of cool. They're like the future kids of the Flash, so there's that. But yeah, now we're going to have to wait to see what happens next week's episode. And of course, after that, we had the finale. Or maybe one more before the finale, but still, it's going to be hectic with all of it. But it's going to be fun. So, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about it. And what do you think is going to happen moving forward. Thank you very much, and have a good day.